Hi everyone, welcome along. It's telling me it's 7 p.m., so I didn't start the countdown right on time. So just wanting to see if people are here. We'll wait a little bit for people to come along. Let me know you're here. Post something in the chat or in the comments. Hey Mark, always good to see people you know that pop up. Someone can't hear. Let's check what's going on. Let's check if we switch to iMac. Is that better? I know my microphone was muted during this and I didn't let it auto switch, so maybe I'll delete that and we'll come back. Okay. Mark can hear me, but Beck can't. Anyone else? It sounds like me. It sounds a bit crazy. Now sounds I'm in a tunnel. I'm not in a tunnel. I mean, I have AirPods in. Does that count? I can hear the tunnel now. Let me take these out. And let's see, can you hear me now? Let's come here. All good sound there. Okay, let's start with what we're going to get going with. Welcome everyone. There is going to be some giveaways tonight. We do have 2 vouchers. Oh, it's better now. Good to hear. That's my I'm sharing obviously my screen from the xTool, and I have another camera on the laser which is next to me. So I've got a few different things I wanted to show you, basically engraving on and in glass. So the UV, if you've done any engraving in glass or on glass, you've probably done it where you've sprayed it or painted it with tempera for a diode laser. If you sprayed it with white tempera, you might have got something like this. White chalk paint. If you sprayed it with black chalk paint, you probably got something like this, which looks more like etching, but it's messy. And if you want to do a lot of them, like we have a honey business, and if you want to do a lot of them, then it can be quite difficult to get a lot of them done. So with the UV laser, there has been a little bit of a learning curve, but I love it now. Even today, I have just had a ball engraving a bunch of things that I can show you as we go. What I was going to do was set up in the laser and do a test engrave and get it organized. This is another honey jar that hubby's given me. All our honey jars are hexagonal, so they're kind of cool. But this one's got a crack in it, so I'm allowed to play with it, but it's we can't use it for honey if it's got a crack in it. It's actually got a fault in the glass, but that doesn't affect what I'm doing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pop him down on the laser. Now, when you're engraving, obviously, when you're setting up to line up, I'm just going to pop onto that screen. When you are lining up, you need to get your height. So the camera on this is great. That's what it's seeing. I'm just going to refresh the camera. That's what it's seeing. My extremely crooked. I've popped the piece of paper, it's a post-it note on top there so that it can focus to the height. And let's just get it to focus. Of course it's not going to work because that would just be easy. Well, lucky that I know, because from earlier testing it was about 98 mil. So let's run that. Hopefully you can see that on the laser, that those dots are coming together. Focusing succeeded, image capture succeeded. Now, the key with engraving on the surface of glass is that you need to lower your focus so that it actually, I guess it's making sure that it's not above the glass, it's even a little bit in the glass. So I've set this at 3 ml clear soda lime glass, and I'm going to then reduce the focus by 2 ml so that it's not going through the glass, but it is going to focus on top of the glass, and then I can remove the paper. So, and I can't really do a show of hands per se, but I'll just, oh my goodness, looks like I'm smoking something. That is so crooked. That's a bit better. Okay, I'm going to pop that on there. I'm just going to pop this to the side. No, I'm not going to put that one on there. Would anyone like to see me actually set up the test grid? I'm not sure with the level, hey Cation, with the level of experience of people that are in here. Test grids are, I guess, the lifeblood of lasering. If you don't do tests and it's a new material, I guess you can rely to an extent on the test grids that xTool have done, but this technically isn't. This is just a close thing. So yeah, Jodie's saying yes. So test grids. The xTool test grids are the symbol of the logo, but that's a little bit boring for me. So I actually set them up. I'm just switching to this one so I can see. I set them up as hearts because it's a little bit more fun. So what I've got 80 to 100 and 100 to 500. What I'm going to do, because this is one, what do they say? Here's one I prepared earlier. I'm going to pop that to the side and turn the output off just so I can use it as a reference. So I'm going to get an element, which is a heart, which is going to be there. It's going to be set to engrave. The key with test grids is you have to set the first element as you mean to go on. So if you set this as a score, then the whole grid's going to be score. So this has to be engraved to start with. I usually drop it to 4 because who wants to do math? So if it's 4 mil, and then I sort of put it in the bottom, I guess, right-hand corner of what I'm going to use it. Coming into applications, material test array. It goes out that way. So with the power, I've got the one down here. I'm going to have a minimum of 80 and a max of 100. So you can see, and it is a little bit hard to see the purple, even though that's my favorite color. I'll change it when we get done. With the 5 columns, that's going to be fine, but I am going to drop the spacing down to 1 mil. To me, there's no need to spread it out. The laser is exact enough that you don't need to spread your test grid out because all it's going to do is take up more room. So, and this I can move over so I can see what I've done here, I hope. No, of course that would be too easy, wouldn't it? Let's see. Aha! There's always a way. Okay, so speed, I've got this set as 100 to 500. Once again, the 5 rows, 5 columns, the 1 millimeter spacing, and then done. And so now I've got my grid, but it's massive still. massive because of the size of the font. So if we come in, this is grouped with the scoring and all the lasering. So if we ungroup it and then select just the row or the layer that is the text, which is set to score, and then I usually bring it down, I guess, to about 8 points on the font. Then I grab that. Don't do that. That would be silly. Once again, the undo key, the favourite thing. So I'm just going to bring that in. No, not that. I'm going to bring this into there. And then these two. It's kind of hard to see, obviously, because it's clear glass. Let's just put all this and maybe put it onto, say, I don't know, red or yellow. Red. Ah, look at that. Now we can see. And then grabbing this row of numbers first, moving that up. And then just the power up, because then I can get the whole thing and move it down so that when I want to do a score grid, I can do that above, and I'm not, putting things in the middle of material that I can't use. I mean, I appreciate this is a test jar, but the idea is that you have it doing, what you need it to do, where you need it to do it. It's not the boss, you're the boss. The rest of the things on here are set to ignore, so I'm just checking that everything else is set. So that's the output turned off on that, and then that's the logo output's turned off, and this was the original. I'm just going to group that so it doesn't go wandering all over the place, and that's turned outputs off. So the only thing that output is on is this. So if I drive around, that output is on for all those layers. So what I'm going to do is pull the cover down. Now you've seen there's nothing on the jar. It's just the jar. All I've done is reduce by 2 mil. So then I'm going to process, and 55 seconds. Can we wait? Okay, safety. I'm just going to pop the controller. There we go. I do have a piece of post-it note on the bottom under the plate, just that if any of it goes through, you'll see that it can tattoo the plate. Okay, so let me see if I can make this bigger. That would be too easy, wouldn't it? Let me just have a quick look in the chat while this is doing its thing. Questions. Yeah, 55 seconds is a little bit nuts. Obviously, there's no method to the madness. The way it puts the hearts, I've got no idea what, pattern. It's a random pattern that it does. And now it's doing the scoring, so that goes through super quick. And when it comes out, I'll show you what it looks like. So I have just a microfiber cloth. I'll just give that the quick wipe over. And where are we? Up here. There is our test grid. So that's the engraving one. From that, I chose the 90 power and 300 speed to do the engraving when I do the actual logo. But I'm going to pop this one back in and do a score test grid up the top. Let's see how we go. Now that we've already done the first one, okay, finished. This is the one I prepared earlier. So now I'm going to grab this one and turn the output off because I don't want that to run again. I can just drag it down on the screen so it's not in the way. I'm going to drag this one over.
It's 1915.
How I get, if I'm not sure what I want to do, the one with the engrave one, I looked at their settings and I basically did a replication of the 80 to 100 to 500 on my glass. I don't know what glass this was, but I basically wanted to replicate that test grid on my product so that, going forward, I could be happy that I had a record of my settings on my glass. And if we're doing a bazillion honey jars and they're the same glass, things are less likely to go awry. With the score, there wasn't it had one of these pictures. Don't get me started on those. But when I came in, what I noticed was now I've got to turn this on. I noticed that when I set up this grid, the score from this was 90, 100, and 1 pass. And I had a look at the result of that. And I thought, well, I'm going to go either side of the 90, so 80 and 100. And then the speed's 100. So I was going to go a couple of steps up and a couple of steps down to come up with my test grid. So that's where I didn't just pluck them out of the proverbial. There's a bit of method to the madness. Hard to believe, I know. So I'm just going to frame this one because I'm not sure I've got the glass in the right place. Is it framing? Yes. Okay. Yep, that looks okay. Just check that that's... Oh, yes, it's working because it's framing. Okay, let's check again. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. Let's check again. To me, it doesn't matter how many times you refresh the image. It's more important that you get it lined up. And the 2 seconds it takes to take a photo. And then we can see this is the grid that we did earlier is down here. So as long as we're not overlapping on that, we're pretty good. Okay, so once again, screen down and process. Okay, start. Okay, and there it goes doing that. So how quick was that? Oh my goodness, 18 seconds. 18 seconds to do that. That's a little bit insane. And when I had a look at this, I thought it's actually a little bit light, the engraving. So what I did was I took that middle setting. So the middle setting, which was which one was it? It was the 100 and the 90. So the 100%, let me ungroup it so I can grab it. It's this one, and I duplicated it. I brought it out to the side, and I popped it on 2 passes because I want to see what it looks like with 2 passes. So I've turned all that off, and so the only thing that's going to run now is this with 2 passes. So let's pop it back in. Because if you're fine-tuning your settings and if you're going to the effort of putting your settings in, then it makes sense to, if you want to change something. I'm just going to move this away so we can be sure that we're not going to get in the way. So, oh no, I want this back. Come back here. Okay, so that's output on. That's all output off. So it's just this, but with 2 passes. at the same speed. So let's pop that down. Process. And, 1 second. Okay. That was it. Oh, sometimes you wonder, but that's okay. So that one, and it is a little bit difficult, but the 2 passes, where are we? I'm trying to see. I might need to put black in behind it. This is a bit of fun. Let's get it going the right way. So with where is it? It's up here. The 2 passes is the one. Oh, this is ridiculous. Trust me, 2 passes is better. So that's what I've saved as my settings. So now what I'm going to do is get the jar, choose another side, which is going to be this side. I'm going to choose this side, and I'm going to run. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. Get rid of this. And get rid of the score test. And the little guy. It's hiding over here. Bring in the logo that we want to do. This is what we're going to do on all the jars. And choose a side. These all have little faults in them, so I'm just trying to see which one has the least. I think it's going to be this one. You know what? It's been... Okay, well, that's going to sit in the bottom. That's going to be okay. I've cleaned that. We know that we've got the height set from doing it before. Let's make sure this is lined up. I'm gonna, because I've got the logo centered and I've got it centered over the post-it note, I'm gonna move this, and then obviously what I've got selected here, I want to be output. So I've set my score to be the 2 passes, and then I've got to turn this layer off because that was my little 2-pass heart, otherwise that's going to show up. And I've set my engrave, as I said, from this. I'll just pull that back over. It's easy to see in the red. So let's go over here. So in the red, I said the 90% and 300 was my favorite. So that's what I saved as my setting for the jars. So that's turned off. I can probably move that out of the way. And last check. So check that this is the only thing that's got the output on. The rest of it's ignored. Still not straight. Last check. That looks better. Okay. Screen down. Process. And I'm going to take a whole 2 minutes 18. So after this, we're going to have our first giveaway. But I've got to tell you what to do first, so don't start yet. So 2 minutes 18 it's going to take to engrave one side of the honey jar. Before we did this, we used to do stickers. And then when we got the jars back, because hubby likes to recycle them, we had to scrape the stickers off, make more stickers. Whereas now that the jars are engraved, we don't have to do any of that when they come back. So, okay, I can minimize that. And then we're going to move on. Well, that's doing its thing, actually. We're going to move on to some internal engraving after this. So I'll pop that down there. Oh, I need to see the chat. I'll Pop that up there then. Okay. So what are we going to say is going to be the winning phrase? Because we're going to do the first person that says it. How about we go making it? So the first person that I see type making it is going to be the winner of, let me grab the graphic. Let me find the graphic. Where is it? Graphics. Ooh, it's not that one. That's happening anyway. But it is this one. Okay, so first round, $50 gift card. Let me go back to the chat, which I now can't see. There it is, chat. Okay, how do we go? Jody Francis. Oh, Jody Francis, you are the winner of the $50 gift card because you came up at 19:25:56. Oh my goodness, Beck, 4 seconds later were you. But I'm looking at the chat here, not on Facebook or anywhere else. I'm looking at it in the software. And Jody Francis, congratulations, you're the winner of the $50 gift card. So I can take that one off and then we hide. Okay, so let's show this jar. As I said, quick wipe with the cloth, and there it is. All done, the engraving, the scoring in 2 minutes. I mean, compared to printing stickers and pulling them off when they come back, it's just a game changer. So it's very good. Okay, so we've done our first giveaway. That was our external engraving, or engraving on glass. And we get into the fun stuff, which is the engraving in glass, so internal engraving. On the software here, so I'm going to just save that file and then I can close it. And then we've got the next one, canvases. So a lovely friend of mine was walking on the beach the other morning and she sent me a photo and said this was her and her gorgeous dog, Sergio. And I said, you know what, I can engrave that on something. And she said, yes, Wendy. Which is often like, I've got to change the lens. See, it came up with the warning. I'm doing inner engraving, but the lens has to be changed. The laser comes with both the lenses that you need. So the inner engraving lens is this one. It's the gold coloured one. The one that's in there now is the black one. So I've just got to turn the laser off for 2 seconds, safety first. Reach up in here. And it's very simple. The laser has the pins on it and you just twist it and drop it down. I'm just going to pop that on there. And then the inner engraving lens goes in, hopefully just as smoothly. I'm just reaching around the iPad this time, so it's a bit weird. Oh, of course not. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Let's try it from this side. What is it doing? Okay, thumbs there. Thumb to the front. That's what I wasn't doing. Okay, inner engraving lens is in. The next thing we have to do is pop on. This is called the riser.
It's 19:30.
It is, Siri. Thank you. The riser locks on to the plate and has these two screws that you do up. I just popped the post-it note on top of it because I invariably tattoo the plate. So all I do is I just quickly snip my post-it note to 70 by 70 so that it's not covering any of the numbers. If it's a bit less than that, that's okay. It's just to stick it down on the plate so that I don't end up tattooing it. But this is the photo, and then what I did was did a mask on it. Yes, I know it's not, I'm not doing, now it's complaining because I've got the inner engraving lens and this canvas is not internal engraving, but this one is, and this was what I lined up, and I lined it up on a heart ornament, and I engraved it, and I've just seen it's filthy, so I'm just gonna give it a little clean with alcohol wipes. And then I was showing it this afternoon, and I think against a dark shirt is a better view. Can you see that? Try and put it. Look that. You can see, there you go. See, against me, you can see. So that is internally engraved, and that is a, I think it's K9 or K5 heart ornament from the xTool store. Look at that. You can see how beautiful that has engraved from that photo. And all I did was tell the system to auto adjust and went with their settings. So that's how it came out. So I was very impressed with that one. And then I wanted to engrave our cats. Now, Chili Chew is our orange cat. Once again, yes, I know. I'm just going to scroll this up. This is a photo we had of him. It's already been adjusted. I'll probably bring in the original, actually. Let me see. Where did I put it? It's probably in downloads. Nope. Nope. Isn't that one? One more, last chance, otherwise we won't be that one. Quick look. No. Okay. That's cool. I don't know where the original is, but that's fine. But then once again, I just got, I just did the standard settings, and I'll just to give it a dark background. That's the engraving of Chili. So that's going to be a Christmas ornament. I'm probably going to engrave something, because now you can do the curved text. I'll engrave something down the bottom because I can engrave on the glass as well as inside. So that's the amazing part. And then today, I wanted to do, I'll show you some of the others, and then we are going to do an internal engraving. So let's turn this one on. This is internal engraving in a cube. I actually think that's better without the light. That is a unicorn, and it is completely inside the cube. It's not from the edges, it's nowhere near the edges, and that's completely in a cube. So that was one of my first internal engravings, thanks to Beck, who helped me with the file. And then I'm looking down here. Today I made a bubby one. So this is in a LED keychain that you can also get from the store, and they change colours. So this is the same unicorn file engraved tiny. So we got Mama and Bubby there. So that's that one. I asked my hairdresser what she would pay or something like that. And she said, oh, $50. And I nearly died. And I thought, oh, my goodness. So I really think they would be amazing as, you know, being able to make money on them. Yeah, undo that. My goodness. And then that's my chameleon from my logo. So I engraved him this afternoon. And then I realised that if you look on the side, it's only sort of the top of him. So I've actually flipped him and put one on the back, and that's what I'm going to try and engrave next on the laser. And then I also did, because I'm a crazy cat lady, I found this cat on Maker World and exported him and popped him in a little cube. And once again, he's completely inside the cube. So it's pretty cute. Okay, so that was this one. Oh, it's just a bit crooked. So that engraving was this one here. So, I mean, they look like they're going to be tiny, but I think they're really effective. So that's that one. But back to here. And let's move this over a little bit so I can see it. Let's get rid of that and see this. I'm just going to check if there's any questions. Hey, Six Hatch, you made it. Yay. Lucky cat. Yes, very much the lucky cat. So that's the little guy. He's very cute. And, you know, the way they turn on and off just by twisting the top of the keychain, and you can replace the batteries, the LEDs, in the top. And they sell for about, I think, $27 for 10. So less than $3, and that's before you even look at bulk ordering or anything like that. I did look at someone like Alibaba. They're about $1.50 US, plus shipping, plus US exchange rates and stuff. So they're extremely competitive from xTool in the store. So if you wanted to get on some, definitely go and make some. So what I was going to show you here in the software again is, so what I've done, let me make this a bit bigger just because I need to see it. This spins me out a bit, but we'll get there. So what this is showing is the glass ornament, okay? Mark, it has to be as well, yes, Six Hatch. The glass has to be K9 or K5 glass. I can show you only because I have a real K9 cube and I have a fake one that was sold as real, and I'll show you how we tell the difference. So this is a UV torch. So when you turn it on, you can't really see a lot, but when you turn it on and hold it up to a fake cube, you can hopefully see there, you can see the light beam right through the cube. So that is not K9 crystal, no matter what they tell you, and you won't successfully be able to internally engrave like the unicorn in something like that. Then you get a correct, not fake one, which I have here. And I'll show you the difference when you put the torch up to this. You see nothing. Like, you do not see any of the light through the glass at all. That's how you can tell that it's correct. Yes, they do 6H, so it would be extra. So I was very, very pleasantly surprised at how competitive xTool's prices were. on those little key rings because they're quick to do. I think the ones I did today took about 6 minutes. They were relatively easy to do. The Marimekko cat. Let me see. I don't know if I've still got the. Let me look at him because I asked. So that does it show me the history? There you go. They did a picture, a 3D model of the cat, and so I took. All I did was take a screenshot out of MakerWorld, popped it in there, and I pressed this button down here that enhances your prompt because I think I just said make me this, and then it went with all this. It was supposed to make it green, but it didn't. So that's what I imported to the canvas, and that's what I made. And then earlier, actually we'll change back to this one and just swing him up. See, this way. In the AI chat, you get the first, I think, 3 a month free. Is this one that Untitled? Oh no, that was a terrible one. Let's not look at that one. Let me see image here. This could have been, here he is. So I gave them an icon with a transparent background from my logo and said, make a 3D model of this image. And I didn't give it a lot of instruction. And then they made it. But like I said, and I think it's about to turn it around, it is one-sided, which is kind of weird. It's almost like he's been sliced in half and it's only the front half. The back's not correct. So what I did, hang on, you can probably see it from this angle. I'll close that. I duplicated, look at that, I can flip it right over. I duplicated him and then reflected him so that there's now a front and a back. Now I have absolutely no idea if this is going to work, but hey, how hard can it be is one of my favourite sayings. So let me grab another keychain. Look at that, I've made 5 this afternoon. That's so funny because I got a stack of them today and I was so excited. I think the delivery guy thought I was going to tackle him because I came running down the driveway at a rate of knots when I saw him on the camera. So this is, and I'll just run through the process. So my little trusty calipers. Let's just move this out of the way so I can see what the camera's doing. So these are, and this needs to be cleaned. Maybe if I put it this way so you can see it. So they are, that's not even zeroed. No, inches. Okay, 0. Let me just make sure it's working. Yeah, so height is upside down, 30.1. I just moved it then, it became 30.4. And then, so that's this height. And then width is 20 upside down, 20.8. I'm so good with cameras. And then the height of it, you need to know how high is the glass. And it's now broken again. So let's go 0. No, 0. And this one, and they do sometimes vary. And this one is 12. Hold on. Oh, no, this side. This is telling me, that was telling me 11.9. So what I do here is, so it's inner engraving is one of the modes with this laser. So you have to make sure you switch to inner engraving. And then the inner engraving settings is where
1945.
It is, Sherry, thank you. tell you how big it is. So it's, I mean, obviously it's not a square, but it's the closest to that. So the X is the length, because I'm going to lay it that way, is 30 by 20 by 11. It is actually like 11.8. And we'll just see, because we need that little bit extra. I'm just going to give this a clean. Because we've got the two sides and it would be handy to have that bit extra, I'm going to do that and then pop it on here. Okay, so then we do this and then we say import canvas, and then now the settings are settings I've used before at user defined because I've saved them. There's a setting down here in the advanced setting that says 3D texture enhancement. So it said it enhances the front 3D texture, making the engraving more dimensional. But now I'm thinking of it, I probably don't want that because I've got the front and the back that I'm doing. So I don't know. I don't know. This could go terribly pear-shaped because I already have a good one, but I just wanted to see what would happen. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to explode or anything fun like that. I've done that before, but I think I've actually finally thrown that out. I did make one engraving that I managed to crack the cube, so I didn't keep that one. It's only just gotten thrown out because it was actually starting to break apart, so that was a bit scary. I am just going to pop a little bit of trusty blue tack just up here so that when this goes in, I know that it's being held tight and straight there. Now with the inner engraving, you don't get to see with the camera because it's the inner engraving lens. It doesn't have the camera thing. So that's why it's so important that you get everything set up here to make sure that you're happy, that it's doing, that you've got your dimensions correct. The thing here is the auto fit, which makes it sort of, I guess, as big as it can be in the thingy. But I haven't hit that because I set the two up in here. And you can see, I probably should because they kind of need to move up. So let's have a look. But if I do auto fit and it goes south, I'll just do another cute cat. Auto fit. Okay. Made it a bit bigger. And they're still together. And when you look at it, you want them to be in the middle, like between the top and the bottom. So when you're looking at it, you want them to be middle and, as much as, and have clearance all around, because if it gets really close to the edge, that's when it can cause cracks. So, okay, process. And then I'll show you a couple of other ones I've done, and it's going to go. Overlapping areas were detected, which may affect the result. Okay, cancel. So obviously it's not going to work doing the bottom one. So let's just get him. Can I move him off? Yeah. Okay. That's the bottom one. I'm just going to delete him. Okay. I tried. That's okay. We'll just engrave this. We'll just engrave this guy then. But if I click on him now and auto fit, funny enough, he's gone a bit smaller. Okay, process. But hang on. No, go back. Stop. No, get back. Because now that I'm only doing the front page, yes, I know, because I stopped you. I'm going to do the 3D texture enhancement. Now, it shows you here in the software because you look at it and you go, well, what am I doing? But when you click on the view enhancement, it actually shows you the Z-axis is the top. So that's the side, obviously, that has the most texture, and that's what I want to enhance. So as opposed to the sides, the y-axis or the other side, like the bottom. I don't want to enhance that. I want to enhance what you're seeing from the top. So, okay, let's try again. Process. And it's thinking. 5 minutes, 45 seconds. So start, that'll take us pretty close to the end. And then I think we should do, okay, minimize that. Come back on here. Go here. Okay, second round. $100 up for grabs. But I'm going to make it different so no one can jump ahead. Let me get the chat back up so I can see it. No, it wouldn't let me go ahead. Yes, I will, Six Hatch. I'll see. I'll send that a bit later and see. No, it comes up, stops you, I guess, wrecking it. So that's handy. Okay, what do we do? Tool. First person to comment xTool gets $100 xTool voucher. So go, get on it. And then I can show you, or we're watching that. That's pretty cool to watch as well. But hang on. Erica, the one who I pipped at the post last time. Erica, you were 1951.52, followed by Jody at 1951.50. Sorry, yours was, oh my goodness, back 100th of a second. And then Jody was 1951.57. So, Erica, that $100 voucher is yours this time. Congratulations. So I will note down who the winners are and pass that on to the guys, and they will send them out. I'm pretty sure they email them out to you, but if they don't have your email, maybe message it to me and I'll make sure it goes where it needs to. Okay, learn, overlay off, hide. Not me being all technology. Okay, so this is, I turned off the thingy that says how long. Oh, it's down here. If you ever need your task list. So it's telling me 3 minutes 23 remaining. I'm going to attempt, and attempt being the operative word, to find and share a video of another internal engraving that I did. Not that photo, hold on. I put all my internal lasers in laser engraving in, and think, oh, where's my little guy? Oh, this guy. Here's another one I did. I took that off. Overlay. Hide. There we go. Okay. So this guy is in Atom, and I might even be able to show you there. It is Disney, so I'm not going to be selling these because I don't want to be stalked or anything else fun. So, oh, here we go. That'll be a good background. So, because that's the other thing, I'm not sure, is that focusing? I could be an influencer and just do this one. This is a model from Atom. So someone else has created it and I just downloaded it to use. It's the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. I'll just show you how to access that actually from in here since I'm sharing this window. So here it is. Here's what I prepared earlier. Can you guys see that? Let me come back down here and have the chat back up. Okay. Voucher thing is a little blocky. Okay, it's gone now, hopefully. So this was in Atom, and like the guy had the design, and all I did was click on open, and it opened in directly into xTool Studio for me, and it had all the settings, and he had said on there that he used a 30 by 20 rectangle. So when I got those, also you see he's got an orthographic. I usually put it on perspective. I find that's a lot easier to visualize and to see what it's doing. And so that was the engraving, and even without the light, that's what he looks like. So he's pretty cute. But obviously, being Disney, unless you want to be in trouble, that's not what I'll be doing to sell. So, okay, so back to the chameleon. And how long have we got? 22 seconds. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Any questions in the chat? Let me see. Thank you as well for others helping people with questions, because I was a bit focused on what I was doing and not coming back and answering all the questions. So I have had the best day today. And yeah, just like these are just everywhere, all over my desk, and I'm so happy. And then that's just gone beep. Okay, let's have a look. And I can already see that it's perfect. Like, the consistency is just nuts. Being able to just go, yep, I'll run another one. It's worth it to try the all the way around, and I might work something else out, but for now, that. Oh, see, look, on my head is dark. I'll stand up so that he's against. I'll do the influencer thing. Oh no, he's got to put the light on. So, where am I going? This way. No, there. So you can see that obviously next to the screen of the design. That's pretty cool. Like that, and I mean, for what they're costing, no more than about $3. If I'm doing orders for people, I could pop one of them in. I'd probably try again to maybe put some text in the bottom, and then making it in the bottom as well. It's actually really cool. Hang on, how long we got? If this cuts off, I apologise in advance. But you can, because I've given away all the presents. So if on here, let's just see, I could go text, and it would be, of course I can type now. Okay, and now my font. No, change the font. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can search. There you go, Tilly. That's our chiffon. Okay. And the size I can mess with. But obviously now I've got to move it and rotate it. So if I move it down here and then I click on rotate up here, it's pretty cool because see, it's going to, rotate. Rotate. It's going to let me spin it on this axis, and then, hold on, if I get it to there, and then on this one, no, not that one, and then this one. There we go. We'll get there in the end. And, no, stop spinning. No. Why is it when you try to rush with something, it goes a bit crazy? Okay, now I'm just going to, I don't even know what it's doing. Hang on. You know what? I'll do this, and I'll pop it in the chat. I'll pop it in the group to be able to show you what I do, because I'll pop him on there, back on there, and then I'm going to get this, making it to not be crazily rotated. And see, look, it just takes a little bit of patience. But obviously looking on a top view, That's massive. That's going to shut down. Okay. I got to go. Thanks, Jody. It just made a weird noise, so I think it's gone. Hold on. Graphics. Oh, there was one. Where'd it go? No. There was one that said thanks for attending, but I don't know where it's gone. That's me. Thanks, guys. I've got the power. I haven't ended it yet. This is what I've got to try to make, but with this smaller in there. Okay, I'll turn that off. Okay, thanks everyone. I'll pop a result of the words in there in the chat for the thing. So thank you. I'll let you go. Bye.